So my name is John Williams, and I'm a Japanese film director. I know I don't look like one, but I am. Yes, it's a very strange adaptation of Shakespeare. It's kind of like a broken adaptation. I've taken the play and sort of smashed it to pieces, kept all the characters, but then they sort of put the story back together. So I've taken the subplots of the play, and it kind of ends up where the original play ends. But it's not a very faithful adaptation. It's very Japanese. It's full of the culture of the island, of Sado Island. I mean, basically what happened was that I was asked to go to Sado to look at the locations to see if we could make a film there. And it's the island where they used to exile people. So over the course of history, they've had very famous exiles there, including emperors and the most famous no playwright and religious dissidents, people like that. So because it's an exile island, it just immediately reminded me of the Tempest. And then, so I decided to incorporate a lot of the historical aspects of the island and the culture of the island into the Shakespeare play. I mean, partly the film is also a metaphor for things that are going on in Japan at the moment. It's also about the kind of flattening out of Japanese society because of commercial and kind of global culture. And people don't, even in Japan, people are not so aware of what an unusual and very rich culture there is on the island. I think it's funny, it's obviously in America and Britain, because the Tempest was a really easy key into the film. So everybody approached it as, oh, this is the Tempest, like we haven't seen it before. And that was kind of, yeah, so in those two countries, it was, and I mean, actually although I haven't had audience reactions here, it's obviously the same thing in Holland with the Shakespeare angle is something that feels, makes it a bit easier to get into. Whereas in Japan, I mean, the reaction is quite different. In Japan, Shakespeare, although there is, a big tradition of Shakespeare in Japan too, actually, Tempest is not one of the plays that is known. Romeo and Juliet, King Lear maybe, but not the Tempest, strangely enough.